folks. Oh, so you were...
Yes, I'm going to do my introductions. Thanks for cutting in there, Bill.
Sorry.
This is the February 2nd edition of Epic Sketch Time. Epic Sketch Time is an online drawing group. We meet about once a week. If you'd like to join Epic Sketch Time, there's lots of ways of doing it. Check out the sign up link in the doobly-doo down below. You can also leave a message for me on our Facebook page, or you can also go to Eventbrite and do a keyword search for Epic Sketch Time. Why don't we do introductions now? Bill, you're up first.
I am Bill Morse. I'm a freelance illustrator. I'm a freelance illustrator in Seattle, Washington, and I'm currently brainstorming, doing some brainstorm sketches for an idea for a young adult's urban fantasy I've been playing with.
Katie, you're up next.
Hi, I am Katie Cord. I am from Bonnie Lake, Washington, and I am a newly developing artist. And today I'm working on a commission for a Valentine's Day card, and I have two that I've already done so far. Snake Pirate and an homage to My So-Called Life.
Very nice.
Glad to be here.
Janee, you're up next.
I'm Janee Trasler. I'm in Grapevine, Texas. Yeah, I'm a children's book author and illustrator, and today I'm working on sketches for painting my little free library I got for Christmas.
And just a reminder, Epic Sketch Time is recorded. We do post the videos on our Facebook page. So if you don't feel comfortable showing your face or talking, that's perfectly okay. You can just type in something in the chat. I see we have Nathan here. Nathan, if you feel like it, tell us where you're from and what you'll be working on today. And if you don't, that's okay too. So my project is I'm doing some caricatures. I think it's perfectly okay if I could show them off. So I'll do a screen grab in a moment. I'm just going to hide all the photos temporarily. Oh, and I should keep an eye out for people coming in. That's sort of like my job. And if you guys want to do a screen share, let me know, and I'll turn off the protection on the screen share so that you guys can show us what you are working on. But otherwise, just feel free to hold it up to the screen. I was happy to hear back finally from my copy editor. He's an expat who lives in Mexico because it's much cheaper to live in Mexico than anywhere else. But he hasn't been in communication much with me lately and had fallen behind on his work. I was really concerned that he had told me that he wasn't feeling well, and I was worried that he got COVID or something. And he finally wrote back to me telling me that he was just afraid of going to see his doctor because he didn't want to be admitted to a hospital. So I can understand that. But he was also sending me some of the projects we were working on. If you guys ever need someone to run over your text, he's the guy. Very affordable.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm going to show off some of my caricatures. Oh, I gotta get this second monitor working. I never did that. We had someone in the waiting room, but they disappeared again. I think it was the same person who tried to get in earlier. I think they must be having a poor connection issue. Bill, have you managed to get out and do any sketches in public this week, or has the weather been keeping you inside the house?
It's pretty much, it just stopped raining now, so yeah, I've been mostly in the house. And which is a shame because it's sort of, I was getting some pretty good luck from the zoo the last time I was there. And apparently there will be a new, there is, as of yesterday, there is a new model.
And who is your new model?
They haven't named her yet, but as the newborn gorilla.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Nadiri, who her mother, is having some bonding problems, which they were a little afraid of because this happened with her last child as well. So everybody's hoping that she'll snap out of it soon. Like they finally kicked in after 5 days the last time, but because they really want to do the hand rearing thing as a last resort.
So I'm working on Inside Illustrator today, and been working almost exclusively inside Procreate for the last couple months. And one of the reasons I'm doing these caricatures before the event is because I'm going to be doing the event inside Illustrator because they want me to do a screen share, and I still haven't figured out how to do that from my tablet. And I keep trying to take my fingers, and instead of zooming in, I keep going like this on my screen, and it doesn't work. So
I was going to test that tonight. I've downloaded something on my computer. I can't remember if I did it here at my studio, but it was supposed to let you share your screen from your tablet. I'm not sure if it actually works or not. So I was going to test that if you would let that hand over sharing for a second.
Okay, let me do that.
I don't remember how to do it.
Oh. Oh, sorry, sharing the wrong thing. I got to turn up. Multiple participants can now share. Go right ahead.
No, there. iPhone, iPad. Oh, I have to install the thing. I guess I installed it in my studio, so give it a second.
Is it a piece of software from a company called IDS?
I don't know. It's in Zoom. I go to share in Zoom and it says iPad or iPhone, and I clicked it and it says it requires a piece of software. So I'm letting it do it now. Let's see. Connect to Wi-Fi network. Okay. Tap screen mirroring. Okay.
Really? Maybe I should. I'm using an older version of Zoom on my laptop because I got an ancient cheese grater of a Mac here. Maybe I should sign in on my laptop, upgrade my Zoom, and if you're successful with this, that'd be great.
It worked. I tried it once and it worked. It hasn't worked now. It's because I think I might have to make sure I'm on the right network because I am. It's saying choose Zoom, Janee, but it's not there. Hang on. Let's see.
We've got a black screen that you're sharing.
Oh, it is. It's black right now.
It's black right now.
Okay, it's not. Oh, it says I need to restart my device. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing for a minute and then I'll try again as soon as I restart it.
Okay. Meantime, while you're figuring that out, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And so these are some caricatures I'm doing. And I may have to change the woman on the left skin tone because I think she looks too Caucasian. I think she's Hispanic.
I'm seeing your Zoom window.
Same here.
You're, oh, dang it.
Wrong screen.
So let me try that again. How about now? What are you saying?
Looks good.
You see the caricatures?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And what was your concern?
Oh, the caricature on the left-hand side, I might have to darken her skin tone as she's Hispanic, but I'll wait until the client tells me about that. I'm going to first show all these just in black and white. And yeah. There we go. Anyway, so I'm having fun. I thought I'll try to draw a couple more heads today. I import the photos as reference and I keep them off to the side and I draw next to them. But the last thing people want to do is actually watch me draw. I'd much rather watch Katie draw. So I would love to figure out how to do a screen share and replace my head with what I'm drawing. I know there's software out there to do that. And I'd love to do what a friend of ours, Ian, he manages to take his little video screen here and do it as an insert while he has his drawing going up here. And that would be fun to do too. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. And Janee, whenever you think you're ready, or is it still starting up?
No, I'm going to give it a try. It's trying to load. Okay.
We have visual.
And so that's what I'm working on. Now let's see if it actually works if I do something. Of course, my Apple Pencil just ran out of juice. Let's see. But it is, you are seeing.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing your controls and your layer menu. So
yeah. Okay, let's see. Let me see if my Apple Pencil has got enough. It could have come unhooked when I had to restart. There we go. Okay, so let's see.
Now I wonder if you have the option of doing the of exchanging your drawing for your camera and replacing it that way. I'm guessing not. I'm thinking it must just be a simple zoom feature to show off.
I guess I'm also having it. There we go. So yeah, so you can do a demo. Y'all are seeing it, right?
Oh yeah.
So it does work. That's pretty cool.
Now you were asking me last time about the opacity tool.
Yes. Let me stop sharing and then.
No, keep it up because I'm going to show you what to do.
Okay.
Okay, so go into your layers.
Okay.
Okay. Now go down to the layer, but don't click on the end because that would take, go to the layer that you want to make transparent.
Okay.
Or to change the opacity. Okay. With your 2 fingers, tap on it.
On the layer?
Yeah. Activate the layer and then tap on it with 2 fingers. Oh, it's locked. You have to unlock it first.
Okay. Oops. Let me unlock it. Okay.
Now you just slide your finger back and forth to change the opacity.
No, it's like the way it used to be a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. Okay, great.
Okay, but you can still get to the, but I don't understand why they did this because you can still click on the layer and hit the little N and do the opacity. But some people like to touch the screen with their fingers. I have yet to be able to find it in the pull down menus though.
Yeah, it would be nice if you didn't have to open up the layers to do it, but still that's better than what I thought it had moved to. So that's still, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, but I have got another little trick for you.
Okay.
So open up the tablet again.
Oh, okay. Let me try again. Okay. Share screen. Hopefully it'll be easier this time. Okay, then I go here, screen mirror. Oops. Okay, choose that. It takes a minute to hook up, doesn't it?
There we go. Okay, it's hooked back up again.
Okay, and I'm okay.
Now, the layer you just deleted, I was going to tell you, keep that layer because I was going to show you how to get rid of everything on that layer.
Oh, okay, I'll do it. Here, I'll do it again.
Okay, so now draw a bunch of stuff on this layer. Just higgledy
If it would
piggledy.
let me, I would. It's for some reason, something I've done, it's not showing up when I draw. Now, isn't that bizarre?
It's not showing up when you draw now.
I'm not seeing it either. I mean, it's.
Oh, go to your layer. Maybe you've got the opacity on your layer, and your layer is up at the top.
Let me
take it outside of the group. Now go up and.
No, it's simply not. This happened a minute ago, and it took me a minute. Let me go make a new layer. And I don't know what made it finally start working, but there we go. Okay.
Okay. So let's say you're drawing along and you realize you want to keep the layer, but you want to get rid of everything that you've drawn.
Don't you swipe from right to left?
What you do is you take 3 fingers, touch the screen with your 3 fingers and swipe to right to left real fast.
Oops. You mean on the layer control or?
No, just on the screen.
That's not working for me.
Oh, okay. That should work. It should be like it.
No.
I couldn't get it to work the first couple times either because it kept registering as something else. But
Oops.
once I got the hang of it, it did it. I'm wondering if I'm messing up because I'm pretty sure it says 3 fingers.
Let me try 2 just to see. Nope, that just moves the whole thing. Right, let me try 3. Oh, it's not working.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go back to my tutorial and make sure I'm telling you how to do this, right?
Okay.
But I was using that all day yesterday and having fun with using the opacity and finally figuring out why the opacity was coming up when I wasn't clicking on the end thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do a little more experiment. I'm going to stop showing you do more experiment. You know how you can change your video? I wonder if you can change your virtual background to be what you're sharing instead.
Well, it might be that you might be able to switch your camera so that instead of your face, we're seeing your tablet.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, usually you need another piece of software. And Phil, do you remember what that was called from? I think I have it somewhere in my notes. ODS or?
Oh, was that the one that Stan was using?
Yes.
ODS sounds familiar. I'm kind of blanking on it as well.
Let me see if I can find it. I write stuff down and then I have to flip through all these pages to see if I can find it. Then I find notes for all these projects that I got halfway started on. And I'm like, And I should just keep all my notes inside Evernote, but I'm so used to keeping my notes hard copy.
Yeah,
Okay, I found it. It's called OBS, or you can use what's called an NDI scan converter. And or there's a piece of software called NDI Virtual, and basically the NDI Virtual shows up as a camera. Then you got your desktop. I mean, here's your service thing, right? Imagine my head is your computer system. Okay, you got your camera connected to it, and then you got the application of Zoom connected over on this side. And then what you do is your operating system feeds through to your camera, to your operating system, to Zoom. And what the NDI software does is establishes itself as a virtual camera, and through it, you can link up your various devices, your phone or your tablet, and then show them off. And there's other tools, I think, at the website. It's ndi.tv/tools. And if you go there, you should be able to, they've got some little tutorials to tell you how to do it, to put it together. And I know that Stan figured out how to do his by watching some YouTube tutorials. I've tried to do this back in, where's this? Oh, July of last year, but my computer system was too old and all the software needed to be on the latest and greatest. But now I'm thinking I'll just have to, my laptop's up and current. I'll just get it upgraded and functioning. I've just been postponing.
yeah, know that feeling. At the moment, my laptop being very old is a feature, not a bug, because it's the only thing that I can run my old copy of Photoshop on.
Yeah, I think I'm running an even older version of Photoshop than you. Mine's isn't yours CS5?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's CS4.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. My two systems upgrades on my office computer killed it on the office computer. Fortunately, I had mostly switched over to Clip Studio Paint, so it didn't really hurt my output, though I frequently used Photoshop for a whole lot of post-production things, such as processing comic strips for the web.
So I figured out something on Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured out how to when you first create a page, you have the option to install a big graphic at the top,
Yes.
and then you can put in a bunch of text. And then the only other way I could really see was to add another graphic, was to go up to where it says add graphic. But all that does is put a smaller graphic underneath the graphic that was up at the top. Well, I was entering in some text the other day, and I found a command that allowed you to import the image into the text block. Would you like to see that?
Sure.
Okay, let me see if I can. First things first, I need to save my Illustrator file. Then I'll go into my Patreon. Okay, I'm going to go in and do a screen share. See if I can figure that out again. So here we are inside Patreon.
Yep.
And as you can see, I have one image loaded. And you can see if I clicked on add images, that would put in another small image, but it wouldn't be full. It would just be a small little square thing off to the left. But now, so I go down here into the text and I hit the return. And when I hit the return, you see immediately off to the left-hand side on the cursor,
Yes.
there's a little camera.
Mm-hmm.
So you click on that, and now you can select the image and import it in.
Oh,
Isn't that nice?
that could have been valuable the other day because
Well, what you can also do is if that image has a URL, like let's say I keep that image in my safe harbor site on Flickr, I could type in the link from my Flickr account instead, and that will put the link, the image in there.
Can you embed YouTube with it?
You know,
I don't see it listed here, but
it says any JPEG, PNG, or GIF up to 512 megabytes, but it doesn't say anything about YouTube. I'm guessing, you know that you can, I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. You know you can go ahead and create a link by typing in your text. I'll just type in dummy text. And then when you highlight that, you get a menu bar that allows you to make it bold, italic, underline. And on here, you can give that a link. So I have posted videos, but not actually shown the video in the Patreon thing, but just posted the link. I know that YouTube has the capacity for when you're sharing to give you the embedding code. So maybe the embedding code will work. I'll try that and see if that works. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. If you guys don't have Patreon, one of the things you can do is set up various levels so that your subscribers can see things at different levels that other people on Patreon can't. And then you can also click this early access button, which will then say, okay, this is stuff that your Patreon supporters will see. I've got this one scheduled to happen in a couple days. And if you click that, you'll get another calendar, and then you can make a selection of when it would go public on Patreon. So I'm learning something new every time I go in. My big mistake has been when I first go and start creating this page, I have to remember not to publish it right then and there, but to click over on this arrow and to choose the option for scheduling it.
Yeah, I've made that mistake a few times myself.
So what I've done is in that situation is I've gone into the post that just went up. I copied my whole text block, so at least I can save some of it, and then I just delete the post, reschedule a new block in the future, and just paste the content back in.
That's what I've done too, yes.
Oh, okay. I'm stopping sharing. So I was contacted by a friend of mine today, and yesterday his old computer was dying, so it was the household computer, so they decided to take it in and get a new computer and move the files over. They get the new computer, they come home, and they've got their calendar and their directory, but they're having a hard time locating the many gigabytes of all their various projects. And me and some other people suggested, why don't you look for individual file names, because that way if they're there, then they'll tell you where they've put where the source file or folder is. They did that, didn't have any success. They called up the store, said, hey, what's the deal? And the store then said, oh, sorry, we misunderstood. We didn't put in any of that information. And they went, you've got our old laptop. What happened to that information? It's dire that we get a hold of it. So the people at the store went out to the recycling bin, pulled it out of the recycling bin, and they're in the process of transferring it over right now. But oh my God, what a near thing.
Yeah. I mean, I had a similar panic. It was moving everything into a portable hard drive that I almost can't picture it partially. Though admittedly, I need to back up on my laptop too.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I had someone waiting to get in. I hope they weren't waiting long. So I was writing down a list of all the ways you could watch movies for free the other day. There's an app that allows you to watch movies free from your library.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Comcast, so I get Netflix, and there's another service I get for free. Oh, pardon me, I don't get Netflix for free. The Peacock and oh, here it is. No, that's my utility bill. But my service provider has two different movie sources that I can get for free. I got Amazon Prime for my shipping, so I got that. Because I have AT&T at a certain level, I get HBO Max because of that. And I was just looking through to see what other sources I get for free. I know my wife and I, we get Hulu. I'm trying to remember why we bothered with Hulu, but we actually do watch a lot of Hulu. She also, pardon me?
I love Hulu.
Yeah, we're really busy. We're watching some anime shows on it, but the one show that we're going to right now is Letterkenny. Having great. What are you watching on it, Janee?
Oh, I watched a ton of stuff. I'm waiting for all my shows to come back on, but both of the 911 shows and Bold Type, and I just lots of chick flicks type shows.
My wife is a big sucker for Korean soap operas. She loves those in Korean rom-coms.
I watch a British soap opera, but I watch it on BritBox, although I think it is available on Hulu. I can't remember if it's Hulu. One of them it's available on, but it comes later, and it's like I can't wait. So I've been watching it for a gazillion years because my mom was English, and so I've been watching it forever. And when I was in Guam for a while, and there was no TV, and I did actually get involved in a Japanese soap opera, even though I couldn't understand what they were saying. I kind of like knew, like I got to where I could kind of tell. So I get that.
My wife has figured out a few Korean words. And she also subscribes to Crunchyroll because I got her addicted to Japanese anime. And back when we first met, she and I would have to find anime on the black market because there weren't. And when I came back from Japan, the only thing playing in the U.S. was Star Blazers and Speed Racer.
Oh man, that takes me back.
So I'd go to a convention, find a Xerox sheet of this horrible list of addresses with the type of genres that these traders would provide you. And you'd write them a letter and say, hey, do you have such and so, such and so, and such and so? And they'd say, yeah, we do. Here's how much it'll cost you. And then you get a pirated VHS in the mail. And half the time it wasn't what you ordered. Like one time I got back, it was banned 1950s car training videos. Like Blood on the Shield and stuff like that. The really horrible ones. I didn't order this, but I can trade this.
Yeah, I remember watching bootlegs, buying bootlegs at conventions. The first way my first exposure to Ghibli and Akira, for example.
And now it's just so prolific, you can get it everywhere. And I know that the same company that services Crunchyroll also does Shudder. And then if you subscribe to one, you should be able to get the other one. But I think we have to unsubscribe from Crunchyroll, which we have right now, and then subscribe to Shudder, and then you would get Crunchyroll as a benefit. And my wife doesn't want to mess with anything because Crunchyroll is one of those apps that actually tracks everything that you watched and what's in your queue, and she doesn't want to mess up her queue. And it looked like the person who tried to come in didn't get connected again. Oh, the poor thing. So I was talking with Bill earlier and telling him that I subscribe to Netflix, but the main reason I subscribe is because I like to order the DVDs. And everyone says, what, Netflix still mails out the DVDs? And yes, they still mail out the DVDs. They got, everything's great. There are DVDs that you can't find anywhere else that's in their library.
But how do you order them on your flip phone, Mark?
That's harsh.
You gotta admit, it's pretty old school, though.
I have a friend who lives out in Spokane, Washington, and he collects VHS tapes and VHS machines, and he fixes them up. He loves VHS. And there are some movies that you can only watch on VHS because the royalties got muddled up along the way, and they aren't available on DVD.
Huh. It's funny, my Blu-ray and DVD player, I don't know what the deal with it is. Perhaps it was in between generations, but it actually also has a VHS player in it, which not having any VHS tapes anymore, haven't used it yet. But
my wife and I, we picked up a combo deal like that from Costco. And we used that for several years.
that reminds me, I'm still thinking about what I want to pick up from Scarecrow tomorrow.
Bill, you should tell everybody what Scarecrow is so they know what you're talking about.
Scarecrow is the mecca of the film lover world. It's one of the last remaining video stores and has one of the best collections on the West Coast. And I have the good luck of being about 500 yards away from it. and I always like putting the depth and the breadth of their collection to the test.
How did y'all's local cartooning group meeting go last week?
It went pretty well. Not as many people as usual, but a fairly good bunch. And
Well, you had about 6 people show up, right?
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And was that for the drink and draw, or
Yes, sir.
was that for the? Yeah, that was the drink and draw. And then let's see. Freelance Fandango, which was yesterday, had about 6 people show up for it.
Just about. I was late, but
And then, but the week before, at Freelance Fandango, we had, I think, 12, and the week before that we had 20. It really varies. Sometimes I'm trying to think that the most this ever group has ever had in has been about 12, and that was about 4 years ago.
oh, we had a pretty big draw last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We had. Did we have 12 last week, or did we have?
Not 12, but it definitely was more, almost
Yeah.
anywhere between 8 or 10.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Janee and Katie, please forward me links that you would like to have people access you, because you've been regulars for so long. You now get added into our description list, so that if anyone wants to try to tracking you down, they can do it through our doobly-doo.
Oh, you're cheering. Can I just put it in the chat?
Yeah, put it in the chat.
Is that good? What you wanted was a website?
Yeah, let me go. Oh, that's perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really don't have anything on my website that indicates
Oh,
too much
that's
that I do
right.
art. But there it is anyway.
I think I might have already added yours in, Katie, but
That's okay.
I might have put up your Amazon page or something.
Yeah, I think I'm still so new to this. I mean, I've sold a couple things at conventions, and I've gotten really good feedback regarding my art. But as far as like selling to the masses or online, I really haven't gotten there yet. I feel like I'm still just getting my feet wet.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been attending this series of webinars about getting into the business of children's and young adults graphic novels, and last Monday's lecture was all about your webpage, and so that was giving me some incentive to start seeing how I can improve it.
Now, was that through the Children's Book Writers and Illustrators? I mean, the Society of Children's Books Writers and Illustrators?
My memory thought it was, but at the same time, I could have seen it originally at the illustration department forum.
Okay.
So what was it you've been doing? You've gone. Has it been a virtual thing you've been doing?
Yeah, Zoom sessions.
Cool.
Had a pretty good draw. I mean, I was expecting it, for some reason, I was expecting it more for the creative end, but the business stuff that it is actually is quite useful as well.
Yeah, I'm a member of the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, and they've got their act together when it comes to putting together presentations. They've always been extremely informal, informative, not informal, and they've also, their meetings, unlike this thing, they have an agenda. They say, okay, we're going to be reviewing so-and-so's work that they've brought. Everyone gets 5 minutes to put forward positive comments, and who wants to be, critiqued next.
But don't you think that it's nice to have some informal, just like, it's like in the olden, I feel like I'm in the olden days when I worked at an ad agency and I just had other people being creative in the studio at the same time. I kind of miss it and I like it. So.
Well, that's what, I have more of those meetings than I do of the highly structured ones. I do this one, which is relatively informal. I do Bill's Drink and Draw, which is once a month. There's also on Mondays, there's Freelance Fandango, and that's from 11 to 1 o'clock Pacific time. And that usually gets between 6 to 20 freelancers, and that doesn't have any type of structure, and it's just kibitzing like this while working on projects. And
yeah,
sometimes
I like it. I'm in a writing, I do some writing ones too, but of course you have to be quiet. In fact, if somebody even forgets to mute and their keyboard's clicking, I'm like,
yeah, sounds useful. I've got to do something more writing oriented because
I thought you were already a member of a writing group, Bill.
Just the children's book thing, which I just joined.
well, that's a start, right?
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to find out if I get into the National Cartoonist Society. How long does that usually take, Mark?
A while. We're talking, it's a bunch of geriatrics who are all volunteering. So
okay.
Most of them are, I would say most of the people are long-term professionals who are either in their 50s or their 60s. So they're trying to fill in their volunteer work. Well, so if you sent it in a month ago, when did you send it in?
I'll have to look. I'll go look while you continue to tell me. I'll go look.
I know it took. I'm trying to remember if it took 3 or 6 months before I finally got around to hearing back from them.
Oh, you're kidding! Really?
Well, I missed the window on the first month. Then it had to be put forward to the next month, and then I think they go through a process where they review your work and see how you're capable, and then they have to do a vote. And well, if someone's not there for the quorum, then they have to wait for them to vote. So things can drag on.
Okay. Well, it was December 20th. But boy, the thing is you just never know. Something could come up again where it's like I might have to go, oh well, sorry, I used to have the money, but now I don't.
Well, I'll see if I can put a bug in someone's ear.
Well, I don't want to be a pain in the butt either. I just was curious how long it normally took.
Well, I can certainly see if I can. I'll
was trying to see if I should take the length of time as a bad sign or not. That's what it is, you see.
Oh, I wouldn't take it as a bad sign. I mean, you probably volunteer for a couple organizations right now. They're meeting how often?
Well, I'm on the library board locally. We meet quarterly, and they were just trying to bump it up to every other month, but I don't think that's going to go through. But I think that's pretty much all the volunteer stuff I do right now. I used to do a lot more volunteering like at the library, but I don't go anywhere now.
Most of my volunteering involves organizing Zoom meetings for other organizations. that haven't bothered to buy their own or invest in their own Zoom thing.
I signed up. I've been paying for Zoom, but because I was doing trivia at the beginning of this stuff with my sister, and the team my husband used to be on was like back when people still went out in the world, you know.
Well, we were doing, when we first started doing Epic Sketch Time, we did it via Google Hangouts, and we're recording it there. And then when that fell away, I was trying, I was using Skype at the time. I've since stopped using Skype. And then I found out you could have a free level of Zoom, but it only lasted for 40 minutes. So we were doing this thing, but only for 40 minutes, and we get cut off. And so
did Google Hangouts die too? Is it another one of the Google things that got?
Yeah, Google Hangouts got crushed. They basically decided that they wanted to make it into a paid platform, and that happened. I think it became Teams.
I think there's a Google streaming service, because I think that's the one that the illustration department uses.
But everything's changed so much in the last year.
Yeah.
So I know that they were trying to figure out what to do with it, because that was at the same time when what was it? I had this blog reader on Google. Did you ever use a blog reader? Where you
a long time ago, yeah.
So, but they pointed me in the direction of this other blog reader called Feedly, and so I just moved all my subscriptions over.
I just hate the way Google just abandons things. Microsoft does it too, but it's like, it's so irritating. Like, you invest your time in whatever this software or platform is, and then they just pull the plug. It's like,
Google Plus. Well, there's been a lot of social media platforms that have died over the years. I used to have a list of them. There was one that you would, what was it? That you would do a 6-second video. This is before TikTok.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
And there was another one called Photo Booth or Photo Chat, where you would take one picture a day and post it. So I had to go into that one, and I wanted to keep all my photos because I felt very self-conscious about being online or having my face. So I went in that every day as a New Year's resolution. I took my photo every day just so I would feel comfortable. And then afterwards, I'm kind of like, man, I don't want to lose all those photos. I got to download those. Oh, and I can't believe this. The timer just went off. I want to thank everybody who came this week for Epic Sketch Time. I've had a lot of fun. I've drawn another head.
Let's see what you worked on.
Oh, actually, I can't show this one because it's of a legislator, and I have to get their approval first.
There's mine.
Oh, is that a squirrel?
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm nuts about books. Oh, that's cool. There's Katie's. Those are cool. Yeah, that's
Katie,
good.
say something so you take over the screen.
Hi. Yeah, here you go. This was requested for a Valentine's Day card. I don't know. I'm just doing what I'm told to challenge myself. So it's a 1970s cop at a bar.
Awesome. I like it.
For a moment, what's the name of that? It reminded me of Dustin Hoffman and Midnight Cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
Bill, what were you working on?
As I said, it was brainstorming for this potential young adult fantasy idea I've been playing around with.
Is she an elf? I can't.
It's complicated. She's sort of she's kind of sort of the label I've been using for the time being is of the cougar people.
Okay, so she's part furry and part human.
Yeah, sort of.
Cool.
But
Well, it was fun seeing you guys, and I hope to see you again next week.
Okay.
Hey, Bill, before we go, there's a whole series of I think they're middle grade books, and it's about this world of cat kind of people or things. So I forgot what they're called, but I bet if you Googled middle grade cat people, you'd find they're like hugely popular. So
Okay.
yeah. So.
Oh, and I've been uploading all of the epic sketch times that I recorded from past years, and I think I'm all up to date, and I've certainly got in the last, all the ones from last month have been posted up. There is, you can see some of them on the Facebook page. I'll post a link to the lists broken down by year so that you can just see the whole lot of them in case you're curious. Some of them are just rambling heads like this one, and others you can actually see some drawing being done. Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Katie. You're silent, but bye.